Hello, everybody. 'Tis I. I'm going to get my hair trimmed. But I want to talk about something you can ponder if you're an estranged parent and you are baffled and claim, you know you're not perfect, but you know you weren't. Type of person to probably end up behind bars. I'm going to share a story with you. When my daughters were younger, their friends would always come to the house, and there was this little girl. She was so cute. They went to elementary and high school with her, and her first name started with A. And I knew her mom. Also, her name started with T. And this little girl had four brothers, I think. And I think so. But anyways, the little girl, she would come over every day and we'd eat, and she was just very polite and kind, and I liked her mom too. But her mom always kind of struggled, um, not with drugs, but in bad relationships, and always ended up getting into these snafus. And so one day, the mom came over and said she was homeless and wondered if her daughter could stay with us because they were going to be sleeping out of their vehicle. And I said, absolutely, she can stay with us. And it wasn't a problem. She was small and she didn't eat much or take up much space. And so the mom, was gone, and I don't think maybe we had cell phones back then, but we didn't have the internet because it was so many years ago. And mom was gone, and I think it was during the summer. I couldn't get a hold of her. So I ended up calling. After a couple of weeks, I had to call the police just to file a report to see if mom was still alive. And not soon after that, mom came back and was able to get her. I don't know if they had another apartment, but I said, we have to find out what's going on. And that was that. Believe it or not, within the last year, I ran into the little girl who's now a grown woman in her 30s and mom. So I ran into A&T. They were both working together behind a desk at a festival or fair or something like that. And they they were hanging out and still in a relationship and still talking to one another, and still maintained their mother-daughter bond. And I wonder why it is sometimes when you have a mom who's clearly struggled in life and at times has not been able to maintain being a parent, and yet her children are still in her life. I don't know how this all works. I also have a friend. Years ago, when I was 40, I dated someone much younger than myself. He was in his 20s. And I don't know, we dated for a number of months. And come to find out, his mom had been a drug addict, had fed his brother drugs, had threatened suicide numerous times. He just never knew when he was going to get the call, but he was still around and available for his mom. And I think what it comes down to is when mom is more childlike and the child has to grow up and become the parent, the child, even as an adult, feels a sort of guilt and shame into maintaining that relationship because they just never know if mom's going to make it. So if your children turned around, it's possible they know you're going to be okay. I can't make sense of it, and I don't know why, but they know you're going to be okay because you've been a source of strength, survival, etc. And maybe you're just okay. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope this helps, and I'll be back.